Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal Big Footy rules still apply. So this is the Flogcast, last episode of the year. Fyfie joined by Paddles.
Hey.
Dan.
Evening.
Network Nerd.
Evening, King.
Teach.
Oh, well, I'm getting used to being down.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Yep, I'm all right with that. So here I am.
And Duckula's got to be last so Teach doesn't cry again.
G'day.
Whack.
Whack.
Well, why are you quacking?
Because Bender's here and because, we like Joel Selwood.
I'm not going to take that. Fuck that. No. You know that we're a fair side and you need to stop taking the piss. That's all there is to it.
You might be a fair side. What about the town of Geelong? We'll start there.
Oh, no. You had to go there first.
It's topical.
You have something important to say.
Yes, well, I need to swallow my pride and accept the fact that you guys were all right, that it is a fucking shithole and it's full of fucking bogans because they voted in this fat fuck who has an icy blue mohawk, implanted abs, and he's the mayor. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, why did you vote for him?
Very fucking much. Oh, that's it. I'm ashamed. I'm never going back there again. Anytime I go to the football, I'm driving straight in there to Kardinia Park, going to the footy, straight out. I'm not going to even visit my parents in Geelong because that place is just full of fucking idiots. They could vote in that dickhead. Oh, what does that say? So you're all right and I'm wrong. So give it to me, I'm just prepared to take all the shit you can give me.
I don't keep up with, obviously, politics, let alone Eastern States politics, and I just saw the guy's surname, and I thought you were just really pissed because he was, like, a relative of Ross Lyon or something. He was going to put, like, roundabouts throughout the whole city and paint the whole fucking town beige or something and, I don't know, clog up traffic everywhere. I thought that's why you were angry. But, yeah, I looked at the photos, and the guy seems like the biggest fucking tool I've ever seen.
I looked up the guy when you were mentioning on the podcast Come Vote, and I found out two things that stood out. One, that he's a Liberal Party member, and two, he used to work for Rupert Murdoch.
Fucking hell, Paddles.
Paddles, you need to, just get the fuck off the partisan politics. I mean, despite what party he belongs to, he looks and acts like a fucking idiot. So, whichever
and he's the mayor of your hometown.
Well, I haven't lived there for 20 years and I'm not going back.
How much time did you spend there, though, Teach? Did you spend the first, 20 years of your life there or something?
Yes, pretty much.
You're born and bred, mate. It's ingrained in your DNA now. Yep. There's no escaping it.
I wasn't actually born there. We were 10-pound poms, and I grew up there. And as soon as I got old enough to work out that, oh, Jesus, I don't want to live here anymore, I moved out. And I moved to Melbourne. And so I'm never going back. Don't worry about that. It's a disgraceful day for Geelong. At least the football club is pure and pristine and magnificent. So,
Just you wait till he's, cutting the tape at the opening of what's next. You still got to have the stand to put in down there. He'll be all over the place.
You'll be the number one ticket holder. You'll start tossing the coin at your games.
Fuck that. I'm going to be the president of that club before that happens. And I'm going to keep that fucking silly out of the place.
President Teach.
Yes, President Teach.
I'm not letting him anywhere near my club.
He's going to cut the ribbon at the running water ceremony at Shithole Stadium, isn't he? When that's installed in the next couple of years.
Excuse me.
They should name it.
Excuse me, Shithole Stadium. Did you actually say that, Panda?
Darren Lyons.
Was that banned since last time I was on?
I'll be over there, the fucking Pattersons, and I'll front you and I'll cut you down in half, Al.
He's going to gate 3 in.
I honest with you, I reckon Subi's fucking facilities are probably at least 30 years behind anything in Geelong. Don't worry, it's disgusting.
It's going to go over there and break your effing arm, Bender.
Anyway, the draft. Maybe we'll start with Network Nerd, who Hawthorn took the riskiest and possibly the most profitable pick of the draft with Garlett.
Well, Hodgepodge started that thread, but all the talk was Hawthorn getting Garlett, so I think he was just trolling the bay because I'm sure he knew, and we all knew that Hawthorn were going after Garlett with the second pick, so it was just a matter if another club decided to cut our lunch, but neither club did, and yeah, we're very happy we got him, and I think between him, Hill, Anderson, and Rioli, all find that smallish Aboriginal type of player, so I think Rioli better shape up, or in a couple of years, I might even be pushed out of the side. But no, I'm looking for good things from Garlett next year or two.
I think you're right, Network. I would have really liked to have gotten hold of Garlett. It was evident that Hawthorn was the only club that he spoke to, and so I really did expect them to pick him up, but I would have liked him to pick him up because I think that he's an exceptional talent, and because he got looked over last year, I think that he's maybe pulled his head in and he's started to behave like a mature footballer.
He'd want to pull his head in, otherwise he'd be gone.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion? And do you reckon him and Rioli could maybe share a Guernsey and they could play like maybe a quarter of football a game with both of them together? Or
Interesting what Network said about Rioli because, Garlett could replace him if his hammies don't get right and he doesn't produce consistent four-quarter games. Garlett could go past him.
Well, the latter is pretty much out of the question in terms of the four-quarter efforts. But really, though, I don't know. They're two fairly similar players from what I've seen of Garlett and the Waffle. It's a big call to have both of them on the team.
The other interesting thing about what Teach said, that he's only spoken to Hawthorn, is that, was it St Kilda he cancelled an interview with? Even Desperate Dale doesn't want to go to St Kilda.
Well, who would?
Even he knows the Pelicans are crazy fuckweed.
Actually, speaking of undesirable places, what I found funny was Christian Salem, he's Victorian, he publicly said he refused to move interstate, and he technically got what he wished for because he got drafted by Melbourne.
Oh, well, that's pretty much the end of his career anyways.
Yeah, he didn't look happy. He just thought, oh shit, I'm going to be the next Cal Morton.
It's karmic retribution. He shouldn't have thrown it out there. He goes, okay, you can stay in Victoria, but you're playing for Melbourne.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with the lack of eightness to Sydney, I've got to say.
Yeah, that was disappointing. He's gone to Fremantle, but it's just not quite the same.
It's not funny, is it?
No. A couple of other interesting draftees. Port, they already had Jake Need and a couple of others, but that wasn't enough. They decided to draft another imp. Yeah, Impy.
Is it Jarman Impy?
Yeah. It's an odd name because, the Jarman brothers are fat bastards.
Oh,
And I'm just interested.
totally fat bastards now.
He'd be like 17 years old. One of the Jarmans was playing back then easily, hey, before he was born.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm wondering if there's any sort of parental kind of, like that guy naming his kid Buddy or whatever, if there's anything to do with that.
Yeah, that's very possible, that guy naming his kid Buddy.
What a disgrace to humanity that is.
Are you okay there, Fyfie? Because you're having a bit of the sniffles. Are you a little bit ill right now?
Are you a bit sniffly because you've been letting Dale Garlett's board at your house after the draft, or?
Injunction. But yeah, nose is a bit runny, yeah. It's allergies.
Oh, okay. So it's probably due to the fact that you didn't have low draft picks. You're getting an allergic reaction to that.
Yeah, we did all right to get Lennon. I was shitty watching the draft when I realised that we'd traded away pick 32 for Sean Hampson. I'm just sitting there thinking, when's our next pick? Oh, it's bloody 40 something. Oh, but yeah.
Can I ask Paddles, how long does he think James Ashish is going to stay at Brisbane? Because I'm hearing rumours that he wants out already.
Actually, I think he'll buck the trend because he was a Norwood boy and he's son and nephew of two famous Norwood players, so he wants to make his own name elsewhere, and he says he can't really do that in South Australia because he'll always be compared to his parents, so he genuinely don't think he'll get homesick.
There's a lot of other states to go play football.
Well, what I'm worried about is that Paddles seems to have moved out of that cardboard box and into a wooden box because it's like more echoey and, Fyfie's about to die. So we're in a real bind here because Paddles can't get out of a wooden box and Fyfie's got a plague.
Yeah.
So, Dan, what's happened to the dog tonight? There's been no noise whatsoever. Well, I hope you haven't euthanised it just for the vlogcast.
You didn't have Suze round and she didn't take care of it for you. She's a notorious dog hitman, isn't she? Or...
Yeah, we had hot dogs tonight too.
She would have told the dog to pull its head in.
Actually, I'm very, very happy with getting Ash because I thought he was going to be a certain top 5, and I personally had him going at number 2. And also, with his Twitter profile, he's immediately changed his avatar to him wearing a Lions jersey. So
Which Lions jersey though is it?
the ugly one.
Yeah, well, he's on the paddle pop thing. He's out of there straight away. He doesn't care about the jumper paddles.
Dan, isn't there another Lions recruit that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, McStay.
Yeah, I have to admit that's actually pretty ironic.
Gone.
It's funny because all the people are leaving and his name is McStay. There we go.
North Melbourne must be fuming, though, with the Sydney Swans drafting Alir.
Oh, because he's stealing Majak's thunder.
He is, yes. Majak's no longer the only Sudanese or African-descended player in the competition, so...
He won't be the favourite token player now. That's disappointing.
It's
Well,
about
he looks
time
like he looks like he can play, the kid. If you look at his video, so Magic's been left behind, maybe.
He's lost his diplomatic immunity.
Majak better train hard in Arizona, stay away from that 24-hour buffet.
Yeah, who was it who gave us the news about the 24-hour buffet?
That came straight from the horse's mouth, from the cousin of the coach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we know who that is.
Yeah, the confirmed umpire, Stalker, who also her friend's Triangle and the Dodo appeared on the bay. One was Brad Scott, the other was, I forget his name.
I'm amazed he finds time to do this sort of thing, to be honest.
Well, it was snowing in Colorado, wasn't it? So he was stuck inside. So I think he was just on the net helping out, I think it's part of his contract. He has to liaise with different types of mediums for media and keep on top of that kind of stuff, I think. Make sure no one's trolling North Melbourne.
Anything else on the draft?
Well, yeah, both the Gold Coast and Geelong drafted twins.
The Kardashians.
Yes, the hardest to pronounce name of the draft, Kolod Janashij. And Jake got drafted to Geelong, and Cade got drafted to the Gold Coast. So,
What a shitty long name.
well, you know, the unfortunate thing about it is that you got fuckwits like Taylor and the like in the media. They're going to come up with their own way. They're call them Colo or Cola.
I reckon they'll go with the Kardashian angle. They totally will, because can you just picture Luke Darcy saying Kardashians? That's exactly what he would say.
I can't help but think look at those surnames and just think how awesome would it be if they had names on the back of Guernseys and with those surnames on the back.
Well, yeah, you're right, Paddles, because if they had to have their names on the back of their jumpers, they would actually need to have a tattoo on either arm to complete the name. So, yeah, it's very twisted names, but they look like pretty good footballers, both of them. But we're not going to know for a year or two whether they're any good or not. So, but I think that out of the first round picks, both GWS and Collingwood did the best, I got to say.
Yeah.
It helps to have number 1 and number 2, though, when one of them's Tom Boyd especially.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're Melbourne.
We're going to get that thread next year about the last man standing who loses to the Gold Coast and GWS. That's going to get bumped a lot next year because that's happened to a lot of sides.
Indeed. It'll be interesting to see who's last on that list.
I love it how Melbourne supposed started that thread just quietly.
So I just think they were happy they weren't in the first 3. We'll move on. St Kilda have appointed a coach since we were last on, Richardson. They got him from Port, and Koshy wasn't happy about it.
No, he cracked the shits a bit, didn't he?
Fair enough, too.
Yeah, I think so, because it was such a time of the year when those things just don't happen.
And St Kilda appeared to draft well, so Pelican wouldn't have done that on his own, so clearly he took some information with him, and they seemed to do all right out of the draft. So that's another reason, probably stole a couple of Port's intel.
Yeah, tell you what, Fyfe, you would be happy that Mark Williams didn't go, because I thought he was the one for the job.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with that, actually. I was worried about it for a bit, but rumour I heard, I can't remember where I read this, but he wanted 5 years to fix them, and St Kilda said no. What kind of club in St Kilda's position says we won't give you 5 years to fix that club?
That's ridiculous.
Were you worried about Dusty losing his minder? What were you worried about?
Hell, that's what you pay his phone bill. He needs Choco.
He's been pretty handy overall
Yeah.
for the development, just on Dusty. I would have liked Garlett too, but there was no way we could handle both him and Dusty. Yeah, I'm just happy that Choco stayed put.
If history is to go by anything with this, we'll end up seeing a press conference in 2 years' time about him getting the sack.
Yeah.
I reckon you're right, Dan.
That is St Kilda's history.
And Pelkin will still be there.
You're right, Dan, because where are they going to go from here? I mean, they don't have a list that's going to propel themselves up into the 8.
Ask Plugger. He reckons they're close.
Ugh. No, they're not. And so they've just got to go through another rebuilding stage. And it's not great for them, but it just needs to happen. And so they need a coach. And I reckon Choco Williams is right. You give me 5 years or give me nothing.
Yeah, and it's not like he's never done it before. He knows what he's got to get them to. He probably get them to the point they need to go to where someone else could take over.
Absolutely. He's a good coach. He's done really, really well. Look what he did with Port. I mean, he did a fantastic job.
And he is believed to be responsible for a lot of the early development at GWS before Leon Cameron became the coach in waiting.
Yes, correct.
Didn't you have to give Port compo?
Yes, they did. They had to pay something, just more money to go on the bottom line, I think.
Under 6 figures, yeah, some sort of settlement. But it's funny because then if Port go get a assistant coach from somewhere else, then wouldn't have to pay that club money. So you're just having some money going around and around.
Port would probably, I guess, promote from within somehow and upgrade everyone along the line and get someone from a state league, I guess.
Brett Ebert retired, so yeah, a couple others may have retired, so maybe they'd be assistant coaches, so who knows.
And moving on to, we'll treat this one sensitively, but the Tipwat trial. Yeah, the evidence given about that night in question, like, it sounds as though they fitted everything St Kilda into one night.
Look, he sent it an apology text. I mean, good on him for that. We should just drop the damn case.
Well, what I can't get my head around is that Lee Montagna and Cozzy, when Lee Montagna was naked, slow danced. Slow dance. What was the song that they slow danced to?
What about me?
What about me? You can't sort of like disco dance to that kind of shit.
You can't write this either.
No, and he's up there, he's cocked out, he's doing about, what about me? That just doesn't fit.
That's Saints footy.
Oh, that did my head in when I read that.
Anything more on the St Kilda antics?
No, we can't go into the case.
Nah.
He's guilty.
I reckon
Give him a soap on a rope.
I reckon he'll get off.
Very difficult to prove. So, yeah, I think Teacher's onto something there. Although, did anyone catch Burnt Chook's take on the situation?
What
What
did
did
he
he
say?
say?
Burnt Chook saying the girl should go to jail.
Oh, the girl should go to jail.
She's lying. She needs to go to jail. That was Burnt Chook's opinion on the situation. If anyone else was wondering whether the Terror Squad just put it on, no, they are that stupid. And the other ridiculous thing about the Milne saga is that it's recently come to light that some senior players have been begging sponsors and coterie members for money to help fund his legal case.
It's pretty poor, isn't it? And how would you feel like if you were a sponsor being tarred with the shame of, maybe putting in money for the legal defence of someone that might end up being a convicted rapist?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And what do they get their money back if he's found to be guilty?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's shameful. I don't know. To think that the professionalism of an organisation to approach people to ask that, I'd want all my sponsorship from them, Like, I think, how could you come to me with your hat in your hand to ask for that sort of stuff would just be embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's shameful, as you said, but it's at the same time not remotely surprising.
No, we wish it just keeps on coming, doesn't it? And from Moffra's thread that he started, I think in either 2011 or 2012, which was the Saints off-season fun thread, and he bumped it and changed it to 2013, and I thought, like, are they going to give us enough material? And it just hasn't stopped. Just keeps on going.
And you wonder if the players acted on their own, but you'd think they'd have to. Like, if they went to the club and said, hey, we want to ask people about this, the club would say, no, that's a terrible look. You can't do that.
Well, considering the shambles that their board or whatever is in anyway, it wouldn't surprise me if they said to them, yeah, go for it. They're really that shocking that, it's just a horrible situation to think that something like that could be approved by a senior member of their board or something.
Yeah, and why can't the players dig in?
They get paid a substantial amount of, surely they could chuck a little bit in.
Milne was on good money, and a lot of his teammates are. Like, if Revolt's behind this, he's been paid very well across his whole career. He's got the media thing, and isn't his new wife, Texas Oil?
Yeah, apparently she's rather well off, so I don't know. He's probably thinking the same thing. I don't want my reputation tarnished by funding your eventual guilt. We'll get a company to do it instead.
Yeah, because the cock photos didn't do that enough. But yeah, there's probably plenty of other ways for the Saints to raise some money, and we've come up with a top 5 for this week is 5 ways that St Kilda can raise some money to help pay for Milne's case without actually asking anyone to directly fund it. Number 5.
They could have an auction for all these items. So number 5 would be Clint Jones's Zippo lighter. He used to light up the Scotters lookalike.
Signed probably too, I imagine.
Yeah, an autograph would be good, but yeah, definitely increase the value.
Number 4 would be, they could auction plenty of these, a range of Nick Del Santo endorsed penis pumps.
They would come off very well, actually. Considering how well it actually worked for him, you'd think many would be in line to pick that up.
Number 3.
Graham's night vision goggles, which he might have used spending many an evening in a tree outside an ex-girlfriend's house just checking out what she's doing.
Number 2, they could auction off one of those trademark erotic photo shoots with Sam Gilbert.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of experience in the area.
Yeah, that's credibility right there.
Tasteful as well.
Yeah, indeed. Some might say artistic.
Yeah.
And the number 1 thing they could auction off
would be a voucher to coach the Saints for a game. And who knows, they might actually save some money on their next recruitment process by finding a gem from the public in that one.
Yeah, they don't have to pay the coach. In fact, people pay them to coach. It's a win-win, really.
Give away 22 a year because, sure as fuck they're not making finals.
Anyway, let's move on to one of the more interesting things of the past few weeks, that Fox Footy are going to show a new television show next year with a recruit and the opportunity to be rookie listed by an AFL club, and it's going to be hosted by that brilliant eye for talent, Michael Voss.
Oh, crazy Granger is going to say, recruit this guy. Is it serious?
Yeah, this is dead serious. It's 20 years old. You can't have played in the Sandful, the Waffle, or the VFL in the last, I think it's 2 years, and you can't have ever been an AFL list. So it's basically park footballers.
Well, they're going to find any talent at all if that's the case. I mean,
I imagine it'll be some really obscure Indigenous talent, kind of like Amos Frank, who still didn't make it at Hawthorn, or Relton Roberts.
Oh, Relton, yes.
Yeah, but I guess they'll be a bit fitter than Relton was.
Poor old Fyfie, you sound like you're dying over there, mate. Can we dial 000 and send the ambos over to
revive
the injection?
No, I'll ride my bike to the hospital.
Oh, well, fair enough. Okay, yeah. So this is the last night we're going to hear from Fyfie. So we say goodbye to him tonight because he get run over on the way to hospital.
Fail, courageous leader.
But yeah, anything else on Crazy Vossy's show?
Yeah, I'm not really surprised that they got Vossy on because Brisbane obviously giving away contracts now. That's the only way they can get people to stay on their list.
Well, hang on. Will the winner get a rookie list or a senior list?
It's a rookie contract, and you would have to think it's not even paid for by the club who takes it. There's a bidding system if anyone wants to take him before their, 5th choice rookie pick, but I imagine this is just a free player for someone who wants to train them, surely.
Oh, look, I think the show will only have merit if the winner actually can debut at a club.
Yeah.
Because if the player just sort of, doesn't do nothing, then, I mean...
Yeah, that being said, some players have gone from suburban football to the AFL pretty quickly. I think Mumford did it, Jake King did it, but, there's not many of them.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's one or two that could get picked out and could actually get to be at least, on that cusp, playing AFL, maybe VFL back and then AFL,
Sometimes it's just a matter of exposing someone to the professionalism as well, because these people might not have had a chance to spend the whole time focusing on being fit or doing their skills. They might be working at the same time. So, if they get that chance to spend the whole time focusing on their diet and their fitness and all that kind of stuff, they might improve at such a rapid rate, but you'd still think it's unlikely.
Yeah, true.
Let's just hope it's not done like, say, Australian Idol, where the best sob story makes it through.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
There's going to be lots of crying. It just goes hand in hand with reality TV. Someone has to shed a tear. Even fucking The Ultimate Fighter had people crying in it. Someone's going to cry.
I just hope Vossy doesn't, have a thing of roses to give out when he's the contestants.
Oh, yeah.
Hands out potatoes. Yeah, the other thing about that is that they ran a cricket one, they've run a soccer one as well on Fox Sports. I saw the ad for the cricket one last summer. He won a Big Bash contract. They were having him do Bollywood dances. There better not be anything like that in this show. If you're going to do it, you got to do it properly.
Yeah.
Seriously, they did Bollywood dances?
And not only did they do that, that was what they put on the ad.
Oh, fuck that. If that happens, and if that player got drafted to my club, I would just hang shit on him.
So would everyone.
Believe. Oh, no way. You play football and you play it well, or fuck off.
Yeah, you got to do it right. Even with all the crying, which is inevitable. We'll move on to the biggest news at the very moment. It's not football, but the Ashes.
Oh, yes.
Wasn't that just fantastic?
One zip.
Yeah, and Trot's pissed off home.
Well, pissed off to England, not South Africa.
Yeah.
South Africa.
Probably too scared after all the people hanging shit on him. Sue's probably sent him some supportive tweet that freaked him out, so he's
Fart SMSs or something.
back on the plane.
I loved Kerry O'Keefe. I mean, I love him every time he commentates. Yeah, exactly. And when we got them in the first innings, and they were like, 7 for 85 or 88 or something, he's run out of the commentary box and he's yelling to the guys over there, goes, yeah, come and get us on our decks. Yeah, come and get us on our decks. I pissed myself laughing. And just fantastic. Paddles, you must have loved it up there in Brisbane.
Yeah, I went on day 2 and day 4, both awesome days to go. Watching that England collapse was brilliant. Then on day 4, actually the hail was actually quite interesting because it actually did hail on day 4. And there was this
bloody
guy who was
Brisbane weather
shirtless.
did its best.
There was this guy who was shirtless and he actually ran onto the field while it was hailing. And that was just hilarious.
And just to see a bit of actual mongrel too, like who would have ever thought that Clark had a break your fucking arm in him? Could anyone even think that? That was just the most surprising thing.
No, I mean, I got to say, under the Clark regime, watching cricket hasn't been
Pleasant?
No, but it is refreshing to see this sort of arrogant sort of mongrelness to the Australian team that's been missing for a while, and hopefully it's here to stay.
Yeah.
We used to be really, really nasty
Yep.
under Border and Taylor.
And they backed it up.
Oh, yeah.
That was even there under Steve Waugh and Ponting. It probably really disappeared when McGrath and Warren left.
Yeah, you're right.
That was the thing, and then too many soft pricks came in.
McGrath and Warren, once in 100 years, bowlers at the best of their craft.
But they sledged. Like, they were just mouthy as well. Like, even Waugh was mouthy. You just dropped the World Cup and all that kind of stuff. Like, there was that kind of thing. It all disappeared when bloody Tendulkar had a sook because Harbhajan called Simons a monkey and then they all went soft. Anyway, bit off track, but yeah, it was good to see the sledging.
You're right there, Fyfie. You're not going to keel over and die. We need to call an ambulance or anything. All right, who's closest to Fyfie? That'd be me. I need to call an ambulance. Hang on.
Do you know CPR?
Yes, I do, actually.
This is getting a bit weird now. There's teachers looking for excuses to go to Fyfie's house and put his lips on his mouth. That's all I'm hearing.
I'll let him die. That's all right.
Yeah, but do it instead. You don't want to be thought that anyone to think you're gay. You want someone else to die instead.
We can send Suze over. It's all right.
Oh,
Send Bosk over.
Sorry, go Griff.
Oscar throttling with his tongue.
Mouth to ass resuscitation.
Oh, that didn't just happen. Bender just trotted down the wicket and he just smacked it over the bowler's head for 6.
I'm actually crying, man. I'm laughing that hard thinking about it.
Really quickly, Bender, do you want to discuss the ducking thing or?
Only that I hope that with the new coach that it's gone from the Eagles, because I think it was becoming an issue, and I'm always of the opinion, and it's the same with when I used to watch soccer before I totally went off it, was that if you try to play the ball more than trying to play for a free, you're probably going to have a better outcome. And I think if players in terms of Shuey, and who's pretty bad at it, and Hams and Sel would have gone with the older one, but Shuey's a little bit in his best year, which was the year that he was nominated for the Rising Star. He wasn't doing that stuff. He was trying to break the tackle, whereas now I think as soon as he feels contact, I think he tries to play for that free, and I hope Simpson just boots it out because I'm tired of seeing it anyway.
Apparently Dank's finally going to be made to turn over his documents.
Finally.
Yeah. Does anyone reckon they still exist?
The only real documents that he must have, if there's any chance of him keeping anything, it's just going to be receipts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just purchases of what he's actually got, confirming that he's got it, and they're going to ask him, what did you do with them, I guess, and that's how they build the case.
Yeah.
They didn't keep any records about what they gave to any players, and they did that on purpose because they didn't want to be in this position. And so all they have is purchase documents, but nothing to do with what they administered players.
Absolutely spot on, which is why Hurd was so shocked to be sitting there. He thought they'd committed the perfect crime.
Do we want to talk about Buddy?
Buddy was pretty funny. Did you see him at the Miss Bikini? Poor bastard. I mean, he's going there. He can't even have an innocent perv because, everyone's looking out for him going, oh, take his photo. And who hasn't stood there looking at a hot chick in bikinis going, four! And then,
I reckon there's a chance it was set up by a publicist or something just to take the heat off the whole kind of pink budgie smugglers in the hot tub full of blokes. Like, oh, look, he's perving at a chick,
maybe exactly that. I mean, we're not going to know the truth.
Maybe Buddy let Hawthorn because Bosk was after him.
Bosk jokes everywhere. But I just find it funny that if he went to Sydney for the lifestyle, maybe to get out of the news pages, it's not looking good for him so far, is it?
Not really, no. And it's not going to get any easier because in this day and age, everyone's got a camera. Everyone's going to take a photo of you wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And he didn't really do anything wrong in going to that bikini show.
He just got excited over a pair of tits.
Well, yes. How dare he? I've never done that ever in my life.
It's going to to get worse as well because under Sydney's game plan, he's probably not likely to kick as many goals. So they're going to, whenever he gets seen out, it's going to be construed as him not concentrating on his football. Even though he might not be playing bad football, he just won't be hitting the scoreboard.
This probably rolls on from what you said in the last vlogcast, Fyfie, in that this is a bad move for Sydney because it's just, the publicity that's going to roll with it is going to be worse, and everyone else who has to be forced out because of the salary cap, it's going to get worse.
I look forward to the Mardi Gras photos.
It's funny how you've said that, Fyfie, as well, because he's going to a town that's notorious for its lack of football knowledge, that if he is not kicking goals, that's the first thing they're going to think.
Yeah, they're going to look at his scoreboard impact. They're going to go, oh, what? He's kicked 30 goals this year? That's not enough. He always kicks the most goals.
He needs to score more tries. That's what I'm going to start saying.
So we're going to have a quick look at a couple of other things. I'm joined by Ant to discuss the pre-season and rookie drafts. I think we'll start with Duckula's club, re-rookieing Murray Newman.
Yeah, I think obviously Eagles hedging their bets, but I think they wanted to see if he could outrun the new coach or not. Because he struggled 12 months ago when Woosha whooped his ass in the 2K time trial, but I think he did all right against Simpson this time around. So
Simpson a bit slower, is he, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think Woosha went.
Had to get off his donkey.
Yeah, Woosha went all anorexic last year, so he looked like he was hitting the marathons a fair bit. So, and Murray Newman looked like he'd been eating a fair bit of turtle, so he was looking pretty slow. But he's trimmed down a bit and made sure he beat the coach this time around.
Trimmed down, is that the prison food?
Yeah, I think so. He's been doing lots of like squats with the bed mattress on his back and lots of push-ups on the floor and stuff. So.
And North drafted Kurt Tippett's brother, was?
Yes, Joel.
You picked up the Dodd brother.
Well, I think North are pretty keen because I think Adelaide are still paying his salary, so they get a play for free.
That wouldn't be the first time they've got the Dud brother. They did get Brad Scott.
Sam Power as well.
Robbie Tarrant.
Shane Harvey.
You got the good brother there as well.
Yeah.
There is a disturbingly large list of shit brothers that have gone to North Melbourne.
But yeah, anything else on Tippett's brother?
Yeah, when he went to Utah for the preseason camp, he didn't introduce himself to his teammates. He just sent a group SMS just saying hi. And yeah.
Did they keep him away from the 24-hour buffet, though?
You want him smashing the 24-hour buffet?
No, Jack Siebel will give him a stern look if he does.
He growled at him like a dog protecting his dinner.
Yeah.
He threatened to bump him in the head. And, well, Mick Malthouse just drafted Cam Wood.
Yeah, but it is a smacks of Malthouse taking his own people in. Though I don't think Cam Wood was that crash out with Werribee, let alone. Yeah. It says a lot about Jolly's stocks.
Hampson and then bringing in Wood. It's like a down. I know that Wood's on a rookie list, but still, fuck me.
And the other thing out of the rookie draft was, well, Essendon cheating. We're just used to it now, aren't we?
Can you fill me in on this cheating thing? I'm not up to speed.
The AFL released permission to train lists where you're allowed to invite people down to train, and Essendon just decided, we're going to invite a dozen people and not tell the AFL, basically.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon they had them on peptides early,
If they're not on the permission to train list, they're not getting tested.
Exactly.
Permission to shoot up, yeah.
They're getting special instructions from James Hird down at the Prahran Oval.
It's a technicality that they're going to try and get it out on when they test positive. They weren't technically on their list when they were injecting them.
They're going to get fined?
Yeah, 48k. I think 4k for each one. So
that's what, 2 shots of AOD for Captain Watson?
That's insignificant to the $3.2 million they lost last year. 1.2 million on the defending the guilty coach.
Hey, but they've got their new facilities over in Tullamarine. It's like Seaford, but not as good.
There's no beach nearby. It's just fucking plains. I hope there's some coffee there for them. Seriously, the funniest thing about it is when everyone talks about these facilities, I keep hearing the word shed. It just sounds like they've just built this big fucking metal structure and,
Isn't that the one from the Chapman picture?
Yeah, it is like a big shed with fake AstroTurf inside it. That's all I saw as well.
So what exactly is state-of-the-art about a shed with AstroTurf? It's undercover, is it?
It doesn't have a bowls club next door telling him what to do.
It's walled in so that the AFL can't see it from outside either.
Yeah, true.
Apparently, the proximity to the airport, they had to do a deal with the taxi drivers in Hurley, They were a bit uncomfortable being that close. But yeah, that was like a secret hush-hush thing they had to pay off. That was part of the $3.2 million debt.
Pay off the cabbies.
Look the other way.
And Jolly not getting picked up in the draft.
I guess it says a lot about Jolly if Cameron Wood gets a place on someone's list. I mean, really.
I mean, his place got taken by a guy that didn't have a pre-season and is having his first year of football in Grundy. I mean, he was finished.
And And you got a guy, Ben Hudson, who's what, 36? Yeah.
Yeah.
He had one hell of a sook though.
Oh, didn't he?
He's got form, Ben Sook. He had a crack at Josh Fraser. I mean,
Yeah, he's got a reputation for being a cockhead.
Coward's a pretty strong word though. We're not talking about Didac.
You can't call a golden boy a coward.
No. Like he calls him a bloody coward, and then
Cometh Eddie Maguire.
yeah, Eddie Maguire. He's got like the Roy Lyon spidey sense. Whenever someone bags bucks, he's onto it on the front foot. You can't bag bucks.
No, greatest player for Collingwood ever.
That was literally the quote.
I don't know, much about Collingwood's history, but is he honestly the greatest player in Collingwood's history?
seriously, haven't you not heard? He's actually lobbying the AFL to change Etihad to the Buckley end.
Oh, fucking hell. Sunshine's out of his anus, obviously. Far out.
He's not the greatest. He's just the only one to let Eddie chug his goo.
I was going to say he's the only one that swallows for Eddie, so he's received a fairly high place on his pedestal.
Eddie's trying to install a cult of bucks down at Collingwood, but I don't think anyone's buying it. Anyway, moving on to probably the biggest recent story. Campbell fucking Brown.
Jeez.
He has form. I mean, he was asking for the death penalty for people who whack, get punched. One punch was.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Famous last words.
It's like pot calling the kettle black. I mean, he's come off calling Lloyd one of the biggest snipers in the game and doing his "you're gone."
Pull your head in, Campbell.
Was it Mays? Is that how you say his name? May?
May.
Yeah, so what he wanted Rihanna's photograph. Gibson.
Or something, yeah.
So Gibson's come over and said, "Oh, you can't do that." He's told him to get fucked. And then Campbell's clocked him. I think that's the long and short of it.
Is he finished?
I think you want to hope so.
They have to get rid of him.
You can't whack your teammate across. He wasn't even looking at him. That's how he likes to hit them, but still.
Rihanna plus Brown punching someone again. I mean, where have we heard that before?
Campbell Brown is a flog, and he's finished.
You think of players who get into trouble for belting people and such. He's not one of the more talented types.
No, I mean, he did enough to warrant playing on next year, but it's going to be real no loss of the Suns if they just get rid of him right now.
No.
Piss him off. It's a shame it's happened after the preseason draft. They couldn't pick up someone else. But then again, they're an expansion club, so fuck them. Hey, did you hear what Mel Brown said? He's getting asked about his son by some media chick.
Sure, we just wanted to ask you if you've spoken to your son at all.
No, I haven't. Honey, can you go and get fucked and get out of my life and out of my property and ring up and make a time like every other cunt does that's got any manners, okay?
Go and get fucked.
And ring up like every other cunt does who's got manners.
That's Suze-esque. But yeah. Let's move on to our thread of the week or thread of the fortnight, whatever it is since we've been on.
I'm liking the Christmas tree one.
Yes, I love
I'm
the
a very
Christmas tree.
festive person when it comes to Christmas time, and I think I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
Brilliant work, Dan. Great work with the Christmas
Yeah.
I actually got the idea off Moffra. I think he had a similar sort of Christmas theme, and I was thinking to myself, have we ever had like a Christmas tree theme on the boat? I was thinking, no, okay.
And some of the contributions have just been fantastic.
Yeah, it's my favourite. It'd have to be between the Richmond Beast with the chicken wings.
Oh, that was fantastic.
And there's one the Wrangler wanted. He wanted a Christmas ball with the picture of Teach on there, and it's in the middle of the tree.
What?
If you want to have a look. Oh, yeah, you're on the tree.
Yeah, teachers on the tree.
What am I doing on the tree?
Well, the Wrangler wanted you on the tree, and I placed
Fuck the
it.
Wrangler. I don't care what he wants. I'm not getting up there front and centre. I can
Bender
take it off,
put
Dan.
Or Bender put his neck massage balls on the tree too.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Yes, that's what they were, weren't they?
And you're lucky I cleaned them up before I took the photo too.
Yes, thank you.
Fuck. But yeah, that's, I think, thread of the past fortnight or week. Honourable mention to the draft comments thread as well from Wayne's World with what the draft statements really mean. I thought that was quite amusing.
Yeah, that was good actually. Yeah.
Flog of the fortnight. I reckon this one's a little bit more competitive, but Black Flag or Suze?
I'm going to go with Black Flag.
Yes,
I
Black
think,
Flag.
yeah, of Black Flag and Suze, I think Suze is more, I don't know, accidental, if you know what I mean.
Unintentional, yeah.
Unintentional, whereas Black Flag, even though he might not be doing it on purpose, he's just more of a dick.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent terminology, Bender.
I tried to make it as technical as possible.
He was on fire early in that thread, like with a couple of his comments. They were really pointed, and then now he's just slinging shit and he's back on the back foot about the sexy blue girl thing.
He did get a lot of posters up about his little comment about Ugak.
But even Ugak too, and it was just like, oh, this could be an interesting thread, the Hawthorn contingent, like Ugak got angry, I could just see Bosk ready to mash his keyboard as Teach says.
I just find how Black
Boss
Flag
would have
did
needed
not
it.
deny I reckon it's as funny as Warner denying that he liked his own post.
It's very amusing how it's gone from that point where it was like, oh yeah, he's fighting back a little bit, to now he's just piss fighting around with Thurlow to Mackie.
He's flog committed at the moment. He won't let it go, and he's stuck. Yeah,
Flog's got a flog.
they do.
And speaking of flogs, we'll move on to the flog of the year. Who's everyone's pick? Who do people have? Starting with Paddles.
I reckon it's Warner just for the fact that one, he makes all these aliases purely to like his own post. Then he denies it. Then he goes on about, oh, this is an elaborate troll, which of course you want to know that's a load of shit. So I reckon he deserves it. And close second to Taz Hawk, because there's a lot of bad Hawthorn supporters who are just really bad sore losers over 2012, but Taz Hawk seems to be the worst out of all of them.
Dan?
I'm probably going to have to lean with Bombers 2003. He just comes out with some of the most strangest shit. And look, there are people who post on the Bay who think it's a troll. It's not. He is a legitimate, scary flog. A close second, I would go with probably Kaiser. He is an embarrassing fellow North supporter on the Bay. And another honourable mention to maybe arsehole licking.
Oh, yeah. Network nerd?
I go Jack Attack. Just the uber flog. I don't know, maybe 3/4 way through the season he got tolerable, but and if you notice, he's still saying that Swans are the reigning premiers. Apparently the Hawks are fake premiers, but like, come on, what about the Kohler and all that of 2012? So I don't know how he calls Hawthorn premiership a fake one, but anyway, he gets my votes.
Duckula?
I think Network Nerd is quite the astute judge of some things sometimes. He does say a lot of things that I'm thinking, especially with Jack Attack. I think who I think should win because he put in such a massive flog effort for the first 3/4 of the year, and then he did go effective troll for about a month and then he disappeared. But I think Bombers is going to take it out just because of his effort over the past couple of months.
Yep. Teach?
Isn't it funny that we've got so many different opinions as to who the flog of the year is? Because
well, they're all flogs, but
they are.
It's a strong field.
I'm going to nominate Jades because he's just consistently putting up just shit posts. Nothing funny. Just
really inane shit, yeah.
Inane, abusive shit. That's exactly what he's known for.
But he disappeared for a fair chunk of the year, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I was about to say that Jades probably doesn't deserve to win it this year because he hasn't really posted much.
Yeah, but he shits me off. So I'm putting him up. And a close second, I've got to say Amstaff, the Port Adelaide supporter.
Oh, yes, that's a good smoking.
He is like a Jades clone. He does exactly the same thing. Inane, abusive bullshit that doesn't mean anything. So they're my two.
I think Bombers is going to be very hard to beat. Just same as what Bender said. He's talked himself into it. Honourable mentions once again go to bloody Kaiser, who, he is an embarrassment. And Poster, who was a bit of a flog early, seemed to turn it around, but recently he's turned into a tool again. Duritz Elias Alter Rob, who's just... just when it looked like there was hope, he's gone to just,
Have you noticed how the big-time flogs have all resurfaced when the footy season is finished?
Yep.
They've all just come flooding. I mean, except for Kaiser's made a real brief appearance and Tiger Boys has been fairly quiet.
I think we carded Kaiser, didn't we?
I don't know. But like Jades and Bombers and Black Flag and Sue's only because she was let back on, I guess, but they all put in a really big effort the past, few weeks at least.
Bloodbath's been making an idiot of himself recently too. Bloodret.
That's just standard. I forgot about him, actually.
Silent Butcher's another one who all he does is post fucking divvy this shit.
Did anyone mention strategy?
Oh, well, he got scared off. When he started that thread and Bosk just teed off at him and he just kicked him straight in the face. And then after that, I said, "Nah, fuck you, mate." And I banned him because he was coming onto the Bay and telling us how to do things. And
what the
fuck happened there?
What the hell was that?
It was a sneeze.
Are you all right, Fyfie? Did you blow up there?
It sounded like you self-combusted or something.
Does anyone...
He's
Is
dead.
anyone intimately aware of Big Trouble in Little China?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the guy exploding at the end?
Yeah, the fat guy. I mean, what do? Your enemies are coming at you. I'll fight them off. No, I'll just fucking blow up.
Yeah, just explode.
And just spread my guts everywhere.
I'm imagining Fyfie doing that in his study at home.
Also, Long Davy Jett is another one too.
Yeah, so he's popped up as well.
The thing about this year, there's no real standout log that's going to win in a landslide.
Bombers separated himself from the pack for a while there, though.
It would just be whoever melts the hardest in the thread will be the winner.
I think that is literally everything. There is nothing else to talk about.
Sign off before Fyfie dies.
Basically, yeah, better do it quickly. This is, the last vlogcast for the year. There'll be the outtakes, the infamous outtakes. Some fantastic stuff there. But yeah, it is the last one before the outtakes. The only chance of us probably being back at all soon is if Essendon get fucked over.
Essendon or another dwarf gets burnt or...
Yeah, I was going to say another St Kilda event would bring us back.
That's business as usual at St Kilda though, isn't it? These days. So this was the last vlogcast for the year. Fyfie joined by Duckula.
Cheers, guys.
Paddles.
Bye.
Network Nerd.
See you guys.
Fyfie's going to die.
Dan.
Yeah, see ya. Bye, Fyfie. It was nice knowing you.
And Teach.
Get well soon, Fyfie.
Thanks also to Ant for his contribution, and now Paddles will take us out with his rendition of a song by an infamous Vranger.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
Fyfie just blew up.